Coach Luka back here with the Coach's Corner. Another episode. I wanted to share a method, strategy when it comes to program design. Now, you might have heard me talk about this. It's called the reverse training session. I have a number of people, I would say, probably share. One of the people that I was strongly influenced by with this was Jason Ferruggia, a great friend of mine that really knows his stuff. And I wanted to take you through like how I use this, when you'd use it, what it is, because I think it becomes a very, very good strategy. Not just, it could be for a day. What I mean by this is you're on your regular training program, not feeling that great, you do a reverse workout. So I'll explain that scenario. Or you use it consistently, how I'm using it, both for myself a lot of times, I would say majority of the time now, and as well with clients who have seen and felt just an incredible switch up when we do this. So it is exactly what it sounds like, right? We reverse the workout, reverse the training session. So I'll give you a traditional, I love that I say traditional. There's nothing wrong with this, right? So if this is traditional, training session, and I'll give you an example of a lower body. I mean, it's regardless whether it's lower, upper, full body session, but we do our dynamic warm-ups, okay? It's normal. We're gonna do that with everything. We talked about our R7 model. And once we are done with our warm-ups, what you'll see traditionally is, if you're doing any type of speed stuff, plyos, they'll be here, okay? You might do some contrast training, which obviously you can see in this. Then the superset, so trap bar deadlift. Let's say we do a pretty heavy trap bar deadlift. We're doing like 4 sets of 4 here, and then 4 sets of 5 box jumps, right? Traditional, you guys have seen me kind of go through these programs before. Then our kind of supplement exercise to build that pattern is gonna be the Bulgarian split squat. This might be 3 sets of 6 if we're really working on strength here, okay? Dumbbell RDLs or barbell RDLs, we'll go 3 sets of 12, build up those hammies. And then kind of like those accessory weak link things, hamstring curls, and this could be a glute ham raise. This could actually be a machine, right? It could be sore necks curls, it could be a lot of different stuff. Knee extension, same thing, could be machine, could be banded, could be a lot of kind of knee extension exercises, and then some type of calf raise, okay? And this is actually, I literally in my mind right now have this program for one of my clients. So this is your traditional, absolutely nothing wrong with this. We'll do it with a lot of people, meaning if you do it this way, it's not like you're doing it the wrong way. But, okay, where does the reverse workout come into play? Well, many a times, let's just start with that scenario where, you're done with your dynamic warm-ups and you're still not feeling like clanging and banging here with the heavies, right? Also, if you've had previous injuries, now like raise my hand here for, somebody that, again, could have a day, I'm running around, I'm coaching a lot, this that's happening, and I start a trap bar deadlift and I'm like, something's feeling a little off. It's not like I'm hurting, it's not like I pulled something, it's just not feeling right? Maybe that QL is a little bit tight, just feeling my low back a little bit. It's just things aren't working the way that you feel that they should be. So what does that do if that happens? Well, guess what? Now, remember, a threat response, right? If my brain is like, whoa, something's off, I'm not gonna be able to produce as much force. I'm gonna be timid. Again, your nervous system's not gonna allow, it's almost like you got the emergency brake on, right? You got the horsepower, but the emergency brake is on a little bit, so you can't use all that horsepower. So in that case, you could do a bunch of ramp up sets, you could do a bunch of different things, but the reverse workout would go like this. I'm legitimately switching up to show you what I'm currently doing in my lower body session, right? Take these accessories right here, boom, and I'm gonna bring them up. Now what this is gonna be, okay, essentially is an extended warm up. Now I'm not saying that I'm not gonna go decently hard on these, but I would actually do it in a circuit. So for instance, I'll do those sore necks hamstring curls, nice and controlled, okay? Get those muscles to work, blood flow's going, great for knees, okay? Then I do knee extension or some type of, again, it could be a Peterson step down, right? Just short step down, Peterson step down, that VMO starts firing, quads are on, and then I'll do some type of calf raise, long stretch at the bottom, because remember, if we do calf raises right, this is actually ankle mobility, okay? So I might do a couple of variations here, one seated, one standing, control down, 3 to 5 second stretch at the bottom, coming back up, and do 2 to 3 sets here. Now here's the reality, by the way, right? Some folks will say stuff like, oh man, that's gonna fatigue my muscles and I won't be able to go as hard as I can. You got to try this for yourself, right? In the scenario of myself, if I was going to start doing, deadlifts and things are off, and then I do this, I feel a lot better, right? And what happens now is like, I don't have that threat, right? Because the brain regulates force. So I don't have that. Now I'm actually like lifting, I'm able to lift heavier. But from there, instead of going to my big lift, I would actually go Bulgarian split squat here. And I would make that my kind of main lift, okay? I just say main lift. I still do my 3 sets of 6 here, do a couple ramp up sets. And what I found, this is actually the model that I use. I'm always doing on my lower body days. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I've shared different vlogs on this before. I do single leg strength training first before I do bilateral. Right now, for me, that just works exceptionally well. A lot of people have reached out and said, hey, look, I've tried that. I thought it was not gonna be really that good, and then it's like, I can't go back, okay? So something for you to consider. So I'll go hard here. Now, what happens with single leg training? Well, there's a lot of things, right? We're working at hip stability, proprioception of the foot, hip, asymmetries, where it's more joint friendly, right? Because I can go heavy on the one leg, but it's still like less load on my spine. And again, like this is definitely getting the nervous system going, right? So I may be moving my jumps now, from here to here. Now superset them. So let's say this is box jumps, okay? And only then am I taking my trap bar deadlift here. Now the thing is there like a golden rule here? Absolutely not. Right, you could do your dynamic warm-ups, then go to Bulgarian split squats, then go to trap bar, then go to RDLs, then go to your hamstring curls, calf raises, and so on. Right, the tendency for me, what I've found is that the people that have had more injuries, age also, right, that they tend to do better with a little bit more. So for instance, they might do 2 to 3 things before they do the main lift, right? Sometimes it may be 1. Now I'm not saying that we don't, like we still do this type of programming, by the way. Right? And the programming should be individual, but the reverse workout, that's why I say it's a strategy, it's a method. And I want to kind of break this down. Okay, so let's say we did trap bar deadlifts here, and then we still go to RDLs, okay, right here. So again, this is how this is one of the ways that you could flip it around. The thought process then becomes this, okay? If you're doing your, in this case, your big exercise as third, is it gonna affect your gains? Is it gonna affect how much you lift? Well, I can tell you from just personal experience, right? So this is my opinion and personal experience of many, I would say, strength coaches have been around for a long time that also follow this, is I tend to feel way better when I get to here, right? And in the last, I would say 6 months, I'm very close to my lifetime PR on my trap bar deadlift. Doing it this way, by the way, right? Where I'm doing single leg work first, doing my ramp up sets over here. Now, let's say if it did affect me in a way that I would lift a little bit less. Let's say, I'm not saying it is, but if it did, it doesn't matter because our goal is what? Progressive overload. We're still gonna follow that progressive overload model with our split squats, with our trap bar deadlifts. So as long as we progress over time in our programming, you're gonna see the results, meaning whether it's strength gains, whether it's muscle building gains, right? You're gonna see all those results from that, which means that it's irrelevant. And again, for the majority of the population, right? This is what matters because we're looking at longevity anyways. We're not looking at something short term. We're like, how can we continue to stay healthy, have healthy joints, build strength, build muscle, build fitness, and again, not be beat up, right? So this is an approach to that. Think of, if we did a traditional kind of upper body session, just a quick example without writing it down is, let's say I was doing, my main big lift was an incline barbell bench press, right? With a straight bar. Well, I may do something like banded flies first or cable flies with some type of band pull aparts, okay? As a primer right here, okay? And then from there, I'd go to a dumbbell bench press. And from there, I go to a barbell bench press. Again, if it was a, push workout. If it was a full body push pull, again, I would go to a dumbbell bench press, possibly to then like a one arm cable row. And then from there, go into an incline barbell bench press and something like a heavier T-bar row. All right, I'd follow that same process. And again, people that have done this will tell you that they're just like, by the time they get to their main big lift, things are feeling really good. On that upper body, it's like elbow feels great, chest feels great, shoulders feel very, very warmed up, tons of blood flow, synovial fluid, the whole shebang, right? And so again, if you're doing a full body workout, take that same concept. Remember, let's zoom out 10,000 feet and just understand this. So this is a program design strategy. When you see my programming, you'll see a lot of this in that athlete for life model that I write. This is very strong and prevalent. Again, where you move it to is up to you, it's individual. That's why it's kind of like a heuristic thing for me, where again, if somebody's coming in, I'll finish off with an example, right? A person that has a history of tweaking their back, right? So they're afraid, like, as soon as we talk about a deadlift, just the name, right? There's like this visceral response, like, ooh, right? So what we ended up doing was exactly this, where we actually went, after extended warm-ups, hamstring curls, we did calf raises. From there, we did hip thrusts as the main lift. Those felt great, glutes pumped up. And then from there, we went to single leg work. And then from there, we went to a trap bar elevated deadlift. Now, everything was feeling great, right? We started lighter, we started ramping up. It was the best that they felt doing a deadlift, right? And the main goal there was their brain was like, okay, like I feel great. Everything feels different than when I usually tweak my back, right? So again, I say heuristics because for that person, that example works really, really well, where basically the deadlift was almost last, right? We had some sled work afterwards, but it was almost last, and they lifted the most that they have in a long time just because their brain felt safe, right? Everything was really, really warmed up. Now we can work from there because it's, again, overcoming that. And so we can continue to train this hinge pattern that they obviously need, right? And that would be an example of using that reverse workout, but individualizing it to that specific person. So with that said, right, put this into play, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for your clients. And I'd love to hear the feedback because, again, this is all about real world stuff. It's not theory, right? It's things that we use. And I will see you back here. And again, if you love stuff like this, make sure you subscribe, right? Because got a lot more of this coming. And also share it. If you know people that's going to be beneficial for them, please share it. We'll see you in the next episode of Coach's Corner. Peace out.